Hey. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining the session today. So I have customers telling me that they want to give special experience to their customers, right? They have the customer information, it's everywhere, and they don't know where to start. So in this session, we will learn how to power up your customer experience with end-to-end data strategy. My name is Jenny, and I have my coworker Cheryl join me today. So let's see what we're going to cover today. First, we were talking about why to create an end-to-end data strategy. And next, we were talking about what it is and how we can build one. So let's start from why, right? So I know a lot of you coming here at re:Invent to see what's new, what's got new releases, the features, the new services, right? Mostly maybe for machine learning or generative AI, right? But like why we want to talk about data strategy. So the data strategy is the golden key for creating a centralized data strategy which you can integrate your data sources and use it for advanced analytics, machine learning AI, or generative AI. So let's think about it, right? So if you want to create a generative AI application like a chatbot, you're going to feed them with the data you have. But what happens if the data is wrong? It's going to give you wrong answers, right? You don't want to give it to your customers. And then another good thing is a data strategy will give you a quickly insight of your large volume data and help you to make the decision. So you see those Lego pieces on there, right? So this is my apply to your scenarios with you. So I have a customer telling me, say, hey, Jenny, my data is everywhere. I got it in my database on premises. I have PDF files. I even want to collect YouTube comments. How can I do that, right? So your data probably like those Lego pieces in different shape, different color. And you and your data team want to pick out from those data to get the information you want. And after that, you want to structure into a little house like the insights you have. So once you get it, we definitely want to tie it back to your business goals, business values, right? So if you are a decision maker, you want to use your data insights to make a better, faster decision. So your company or your organization can catch up to the marketing trend. And then the second very important here is we want to give our customers special things, different experience, so we can improve our member experience and the loyalty. Then we also heard a lot of organizations like we want to stay ahead, we want to stay ahead of the industry, the competition, we want to create generative AI applications. How we can do that, right? So this is the one can help you. And even your team is not ready for it, you can prepare for the future. The last one we want to see is like some companies or organizations says, I want to reduce my data operation costs. It's very high right now, right? So a great data strategy will help you with that. And also we see challenge on their way, right? I have customers, they have 100 million rows of customer information in their database. It could be 10 terabytes right now, but like they have more customers coming in. It's keep increasing every month, every quarter, every year. This is a good result we want to see, right? But like we want a customer know how to handle this. And then will be different form of data across different team or even outside of your organizations. The issues here is how to share our data and how your data team know when they need the data, where to find it. The third challenge we see is here, a lot of customers starting to build their machine learning applications, generative AI applications, right? And we need the data prepared for those. But our team is lacking those technical skills. So we might integrate our partner and other vendors to help us with this. But like, what about after that, right? What happened after that? How our team can maintain those? It's another things we need to think about. The last but not least is security is our top priority. Our customers want data governance, right? Our customer information, we need to be compliance requirement like PII, PCI, and also HIPAA. So these are the things we want and our customer is facing. So we also see those challenges coming to different ways. We might have diverse data, semi-structured, unstructured, or structured. It could be image, could be videos, could be text files, and it's being challenged. We want to bring those diverse data into a unified way. And without approaching the modern data strategy, it could end up as like we cannot tie it back to our business goals. We make wrong decisions. We make the architecture very complex, and it costs us a lot. But the good thing is these challenges are addressable. So let me pass the mic to Cheryl, and she will tell us how we can help.
Thanks, Jenny. Okay, so let's see how modern data strategy can actually help the challenges and pain points that Jenny mentioned here. What is modern data strategy? So according to AWS, or this is how AWS define it. So data strategy is a plan of aligned actions, and that plan is supposed to be agile approach so that you'll be able to evolve and expand over time, right? Spanning mindset, people and processes, and technology. So think about the three categories, key categories, because we're going to come back on that later. So with that it accelerates creating value using data, meaning that maybe your data platform, the first iteration would be hard or maybe complex, but as you get feedback or as you have experience, and the subsequent iteration should be a little faster and better. That is directly supporting basically your business goals, right? So that is how AWS define what modern data strategy is. Right, so remember when I said about those three key factors that when you create to become successful in creating data strategy? So that is technology, people and processes, and mindset. So let's first start with technology since we're here in reInvent, right? So we are so excited for reInvent because there's no AWS services that are coming out, new features that are coming out. So basically, technology is part of modern data strategy, but it's not the core at all. So sometimes, some of the organization, when I ask them what they mean about modern data strategy, I often hear something like a technology or a tool. So it could be generative AI, that's the buzzword right now, or it could be a data warehouse. So, but then, looking at the other process, for example, people and processes, this is like a skill set. This is where you look at different teams and different departments of how they look at their data or how they work, and also what tools they are using. And also, so when you know the people and processes, then you know how you can align it to have the data-driven outcome. So looking at that, we shift to the mindset. Mindset is your beliefs, values, and behaviors that create that data-driven culture. So think about if you have all the technology, but you don't have the people and processes and mindset, you're not going to have a successful data strategy, right? So you need to have these three right here. They need to be on that data strategy when you create it equally. Or for example, if you have mindset, like everybody is on board, you have the culture of a data-driven organization, but then you don't have the skill sets or you don't have the technologies, so then it doesn't matter at all. So remember, when we talk about modern data strategy, where these three factors right here needs to be involved. It's not just technology or it's not just mindset. All right. Also, I want to say about mindset, AWS has a workshop, which is the data strategy diagnostic. That is, if you are interested on that one, it's at no charge. For everyone, please contact your, AWS support. Please contact AWS. We'll be able to give you that information and how to get that workshop. Now let's look about building a modern data architecture here. But first, when building a modern data architecture, we'll look at data discovery. So that is the first step. And these 5 boxes right here will give you an idea or will guide you on that how to do a proper data discovery, right? So first you have to define the business value. What is the goal? What is the goal where you're wanting to have that data strategy? Then you identify the user persona. Who will use the data, and how many times they were going to use the data? How are they going to process this? Are they going to process this monthly, weekly, hourly? And then you identify the data sources. So that would be your, maybe from databases, CSVs, people, or applications. So once you have these 3 boxes right here, like you think about it in a column and you have your answers, then you have a pretty good idea of what your data storage is. So it could be a relational database, or it could be a data lake. So really depending on your use case. And then once you have that data in your data store, then you think about how your application or your use case, so that how you are building it so you know how to process that data basically. So that is the first step when you try to build a data architecture. Now let's look at a high-level overview of data architecture here. There are several layers when you're building a modern data architecture. So first, when you have the data sources, we talked about it. It could be streaming, batch, structured, or unstructured. And then you have ingestion. So really, the role of ingestion is to put your data in the storage right here. So an example of an ingestion with AWS services is AWS Data Migration Service. If you want to have a seamless migration of your database from on-prem to AWS, then this is the ingestion service that you want to use. And also, I want to say that this is only a sample, right? Depending really on your use case, there are services that are available in this ingestion layer. So what we have here in the storage layer, of course, our famous Amazon Simple Storage service, which is you can put in or retrieve any amount of data from anywhere in the world. And you also have different distinctions under the storage. You have the landing zone, you have the raw data, and then you have the curated or consumption zone ready for you to use on whatever applications or whatever you're trying to do with the data. And then, of course, once you have it in storage, you need to catalog that data, right? So you know what the data represents. And then under the processing, I saw many organizations do it in different ways. So one way is to clean the data, and then the other is to enrich the data and then move it to the consumption zone. All right, so if you're in the consumption phase right there, you can do it in data exploration or data analytics. So I have 4 samples of AWS services right there, but I'm going to talk about if you want to do a large scale of data analysis and visualization, then you use Amazon QuickSight. Or if you want to do an ad hoc querying of your data sets and data exploration, then Amazon Athena maybe would be a good service for you to use. And then data warehousing would, of course, be Redshift, right? But then you notice that our title is powering up your customer experience, right? With the end-to-end data strategy. So we had one important key layer here that we put, which is segmentation. So segmentation is usually unifying your customer data and enhancing that customer experience there. That's where you put in your personalization. And also we have an example here, which is Amazon Personalize, which is part of our machine learning tools that provide that content recommendation and personalization to enhance that user experience. So you guys use Amazon.com, right? Or Amazon Prime Video. So you notice, like, when you put in something in your cart or when you watch a movie, then it will say suggested movies. So that is Amazon Personalized right there, or give you a recommendation of what you can choose or buy next. So personalizes on the background of that. And of course, we don't want to forget security and governance, right? Security is mandatory, anytime and anywhere. And security is the #1 priority in AWS. So with your security, we give you tools to do data protection with encryption, your compliance requirement there, so you can use it to your AWS environment. All right. So now for the next step here, we have if you want interested in building our modern data strategy with AWS, please scan this QR code right here. Or if you have any questions with us, or if you want to get started your journey with data strategy, contact AWS and we can give you some information about the data strategy diagnostic if you're interested in that, if you want to use it in your organization. All right, thank you all for coming. I hope you learned something from this presentation. And please complete the session survey in the mobile app. Thank you.
Thank you.